Believe it or not, in a first-tier city like Shanghai, many stores can no longer survive. Last time I was here, this store was still open, but now it has closed. The stores on the second floor have also closed. Locals said that compared to 4 years ago, the number of passengers taking the subway during the morning and evening rush hours in Shanghai has decreased by at least one-third. The number of customers visiting restaurants and shopping malls has dropped by more than half. Many restaurants in the neighborhood that were once crowded during mealtimes are now deserted. And to save money, many people cook at home. Actual videos show that Shanghai's New Songjiang Road, once bustling, is now deserted. With shops closed everywhere and shopping malls even quieter, people wonder why? Some netizens pointed out that even the downtown area of Lujiazui in Shanghai was very quiet. And the Genga shopping mall next to the Oriental Pearl Tower was also silent around 8 p.m. Hot pot restaurants were slow, with only 1 or 2 tables of customers. The business situation of other barbecue restaurants was similar. Even newly opened restaurants were not doing well. Zhengda Mall, located in downtown Shanghai, was very quiet during dinner time. In such an environment, the pressure on shop owners is evident. Netizens observed that some stores had closed and others had moved out half their furniture. Many large shopping malls and supermarkets in Shanghai are shutting down. Some are outdated with unsuitable products. However, the question remains why newly opened malls with good environments and quality goods are also so quiet. The wave of store closures has spread everywhere. Even areas around Shanghai's subway stations, once bustling, are now nearly deserted. Previously, the transfer fee for stores near subway stations exceeded 1 billion yuan, but now the commercial hubs around these stations are sparsely populated. Even small snack shops are struggling to survive. The business environment in Shanghai is dire. According to statistics, the number of outsiders has decreased by nearly 5 million this year, causing the permanent population to drop from 26 million to about 20 million. The overall environment is very challenging, and people are advised to be cautious when doing business and to protect their money. Stores face the double pressure of e-commerce and online shopping, leading to widespread closures. Netizens have expressed hope that the government will support small and medium-sized enterprises, as these businesses, despite being unable to compete with large internet companies, provide numerous jobs and sustain many families. Some even claim that Shanghai's economy is now worse than that of second- and third-tier cities. Personally, I also feel that Shanghai's economic situation over the past 2 years has deteriorated. Most of my friends have been laid off, some unemployed for nearly 2 years without finding suitable jobs. Some have even returned to their hometowns. A while ago, I went with a friend to look for an office in Sihui, and we found the floors completely empty. The landlord said the rent had been reduced to less than half of the peak price, yet they still couldn't find tenants. They also mentioned that many new graduates struggle to find jobs in Shanghai due to a lack of work experience. This is the reality I see in Shanghai. Recently, I've been traveling to Guangdong frequently for work, and cities like Shenzhen and Dongguan seem to have a much better economic situation than Shanghai. Perhaps my observations are not comprehensive, but I always feel a more vibrant atmosphere there. There are also reports that more and more families in Shanghai are going bankrupt. It is said that 80% of households in Shanghai are nominally bankrupt. Many appear outwardly wealthy but are actually in dire financial straits. Selling a house in Shanghai is difficult, and even renting one is challenging. Those who purchased homes with loans are worse off because most of their monthly income goes toward debt repayment. Once someone loses their job, financial problems arise, yet everyone pretends to be doing well. So, do you think the real estate market will improve? Recently, I heard someone say that many families in Shanghai are struggling to the point where they don't even have 10,000 yuan. At first, I didn't believe it, but unfortunately, this is a sad reality for many families today. The other day, I had dinner with a friend, and he started complaining. He is paying nearly 9,000 yuan a month for his mortgage and is barely able to make ends meet using several credit cards. He earns about 10,000 yuan a month and is so stressed that he hardly dares to attend any social events after work. Many young people in Shanghai are facing the same situation now. Some have borrowed heavily, their debt keeps growing, and monthly repayments are impossible to meet. The first thing they do upon waking each day is to find a way to borrow money to repay their debts. Such a life is both hopeless and heartbreaking. Another netizen said that before moving to Shanghai, no matter how much people said the city's economy was declining, he didn't take it seriously. After all, Shanghai is an economic center. However, today many companies in Shanghai are going bankrupt, and even state-owned enterprises are doing their best to save money by laying off employees or cutting salaries. Small companies are struggling, with many on the brink of bankruptcy. The reality is much harsher than expected. I am a real estate agent in Shanghai, and recently, I've clearly noticed that more people are coming to me to sell their houses. These houses are either being sold because the owners can't afford their mortgages, or they have entered the foreclosure process. Some homeowners are selling their properties to repay debts. Meanwhile, more and more people are unemployed. Many of my friends have been unemployed for nearly 2 years and haven't found work, with some returning to their hometowns. Even people with postgraduate degrees have started earning a living by delivering food or parcels. The job market is extremely challenging now. Additionally, the vacancy rate for office buildings in Shanghai is very high. Many landlords have halved their rents to attract tenants, yet there is little interest. I heard that in the first half of this year, 12,000 companies in Shanghai closed. How many people lost their jobs? Companies like IBM, Cisco, and Google, which were once coveted employers, are now laying off workers. Even graduates from top universities face an unemployment crisis, while ordinary people are even more frightened. There used to be several popular restaurants in my neighborhood where you couldn't even get a seat at lunchtime. Now, many of them have empty tables. So many companies have moved out of their office buildings that few people order lunch. Restaurant owners and even college students have had to start delivering food to survive. In Shanghai, if you find a job that pays on time, you must treasure it. After all, you need to support your family. Look at the office buildings. They might seem impressive from the outside, but they are often empty inside. The economy is struggling, and companies are shutting down or relocating. Who knows what the future holds? We should save as much money as possible. People living in Shanghai have felt the changes over the years. Data shows that in the first half of 2024 alone, 12,436 companies in Shanghai relocated. This raises the question, how many jobs have been cut and how many people have lost their livelihoods? So far, many well-known companies have conducted mass layoffs under the pressure of the economic downturn. Ordinary people are struggling, and businesses are also striving to maintain efficiency. A large number of departments have been downsized. Now, no one dares to quit their jobs for fear of being unable to find new employment. Some analysts point out that making money in Shanghai has become increasingly difficult. Many people are returning to their hometowns, and Shanghai is no longer the top choice. Living a glamorous life in a big city has become a luxury and an unattainable dream.
What if the world's second-largest economy isn't collapsing with a bang, but slowly bleeding out in silence, seen not in government reports, but in the exhaustion of everyday people? Imagine a young man in Shenzhen scrolling through endless job ads at 2 a.m. with nothing in his stomach, wondering how to survive one more day. In another city, a store owner runs her fingers over the dust on her locked shutters and murmurs, "Maybe it's time to give up." These aren't isolated stories, they are becoming the fabric of daily life. Fresh graduates take on delivery gigs just to avoid sinking further. Factory workers claw at jobs paying 13 yuan an hour. Towering office blocks sit half-lit, shopping avenues echo like abandoned shells, as if prosperity itself had already packed up and left. This isn't just an economic hiccup, it's a deeper fracture running through the system. Analysts warn these are not temporary pains, but structural failures. With youth unemployment stuck near 15% on paper, and many believe above 20% in reality, consumer spending is evaporating, anger is rising, and the question grows louder. Is China heading toward a full-blown breakdown? Look at the summer of 2025. Official numbers show nearly 15% of those aged 16 to 24 without work, and another 7% of young adults teetering on the edge. Independent researchers argue the true scale is far worse. The proof is on the streets. College grads frying dumplings for coins under sweltering heat, engineering majors darting through traffic as food couriers, factories in Jiangsu and Shanghai, once buzzing, now padlocked and silent. The tide of migration into cities is now turning back. Youth crowd into cramped hostels, 5 or 6 to a room. Some rent bunks by the hour. Others sleep across subway benches, waiting for jobs that never materialize. the bright promise of city life has shrunk into a single word: survival. The mental strain is staggering. Viral clips on Douyin and Bilibili show young people muttering "Huaboliao" loosely, "let it all end." Jokes and memes try to mask the despair, but beneath the sarcasm lies a deep scar in the nation's belief in progress and upward mobility, and that is the haunting question. When both the educated and the poor are stuck in the same desperate fight, where does a society go next? Factories are falling silent, streets are empty, China's growth is moving in reverse. By mid-2025, the warning lights are impossible to ignore. Producer prices plunged 3.6% in June compared to last year, the steepest fall in almost 2 years. For the third month in a row, the manufacturing PMI sat below 50, the unmistakable mark of contraction. Behind those statistics hides a grim truth. Demand has collapsed, warehouses overflow with unsold goods, and assembly lines are shutting down. In Jiangsu and Zhejiang, workshops run with skeleton crews. Some rotate staff into unpaid leave, others slash salaries just to survive. Export orders vanish, local spending withers, and businesses cling to existence by a thread. But the slowdown doesn't end at the factory floor. Cafes, bars, and restaurants feel the squeeze. Even staff from 4-star hotels in Shanghai and Chengdu are ditching stable jobs to grill skewers on the street or ride scooters delivering takeout for a few extra yuan. A Shanghai franchise owner admitted, "There are days we lose money even at peak hours. This isn't seasonal, it's systemic." On WeChat and Douyin, a bleak new vocabulary is spreading. Words like "no savings," "trapped in debt," credit frozen echo among office workers and small business owners. According to a survey by the 21st Century Business Herald, 6 out of 10 small firms expect revenues to fall even further this year, despite government relief measures. For countless families, the future isn't even a consideration anymore. The only battle is making it through the week. The warning signs are no longer hidden, they're playing out in plain sight. Viral clips from Guangzhou show frail men slumped on sidewalks, holding cardboard signs that plead not for cash, but for something to eat. One man said he hadn't touched real food in weeks. While some doubted his story, volunteers later confirmed he had been surviving on scraps and sips of tap water from public restrooms. Those images shook millions to their core. In cities like Xi'an, Chengdu, and Nanjing, a quiet movement has sprung up, so-called rescue kitchens, or jujiguan. These are small, family-run eateries offering 1 or 2 simple meals a day, sometimes free, sometimes for as little as 2 yuan. One owner told Caixin, "Most who come here haven't eaten properly in days. This isn't a business, it's survival support." Meanwhile, factory hubs tell their own grim story. Job postings offering 13 yuan an hour for grueling labor draw endless lines of applicants, many with college diplomas in hand. In Suzhou, footage shows crowds outside warehouses waiting for hours just to be picked for a shift that barely covers the price of a bowl of noodles. Workers joke bitterly, "3 of us do the work of 1, yet still get paid like it's just lunch money." The government's poverty statistics haven't budged since 2024, but underground accounts paint a different reality. Informal food stalls are popping up in neighborhoods, families barter labor for bread, and hand-scrawled signs appear on walls, "Don't give me cash, give me food." This isn't just an economic slowdown, it's dignity disintegrating in real time. Factories may one day restart, policies may change, but for millions the question has shifted. It's no longer about building a future, it's about making it to tomorrow. Silent streets, shattered dreams, China's middle class in crisis. Across the country, the once confident middle class is unraveling. University graduates and skilled workers who once aimed high now struggle just to cover rent, or worse, to feed themselves. Some have resorted to the unthinkable, selling blood for a few hundred yuan just to keep going. What was once seen as a path to prosperity, education, property, small businesses, has turned into a trap of loans and despair. The very people who studied, borrowed, hustled, and joined the property boom are now being crushed. Housing values collapse, yet mortgage bills still arrive. Banks freeze assets, but demand payments on schedule. Online confessions echo, 10 years of work, and now I skip meals and sell my blood to survive. The tragedy isn't wasteful spending, it's the disappearance of income itself. Even China's great cities, Shanghai, Beijing, Shenzhen, have lost their shine. Entire industrial zones sit eerily quiet. Rents have fallen 20 to 30%, but still factories remain shuttered, office towers unlit, and commercial streets echo like ghost towns. Big names like Volkswagen, Yakult, and Toto have all packed up and left, leaving behind silence where thousands of workers once clocked in. For young people, the picture is even darker. Viral clips show top graduates reduced to selling skewers on the roadside, delivering food on scooters, or boarding trains back to their rural hometowns. Degrees in hand but no job in sight. Many scrape by on less than 3,000 yuan a month. The psychological toll is brutal. Countless videos show young adults whispering, "I can't hold on much longer," before breaking down in tears. This is no longer just an economic slump. It's a collapse of belief, trust in opportunity, faith in hard work, hope for tomorrow. The middle class was promised stability, wealth, and upward mobility. Instead, they are staring at shrinking jobs, swelling debts, and cities gone quiet. If the spiral continues, the consequences could be devastating: a full-blown housing crash, mass defaults, and rising anger from a generation that feels betrayed. The question is no longer, how do we get ahead? It's become, how do we survive at all? So, is this the beginning of a long descent, or the painful turning point that will rewrite China's future? China's economic engine is collapsing, and the cracks can no longer be hidden. Factories that once roared with life now stand silent, their gates chained and machines gathering dust. Small businesses are shutting down one after another, crushed by unpaid debts and shrinking demand. Even once wealthy entrepreneurs are being forced to auction off their personal belongings just to cover loans. Fresh graduates, once full of ambition, now line up for low-paying delivery work, fighting to survive each day. The middle class, once the pride of China's growth, is sinking under the weight of mortgages and endless bills. For millions, the dream of prosperity has completely shattered, replaced by a grim struggle to make it through the week. Across China's cities, waves of layoffs have left streets filled with despair. Families are skipping meals as wages vanish, while their savings accounts run dry. Homeless shelters are overflowing, and countless young people are forced to sleep in subway stations, waiting for jobs that never come. In industrial towns, whispers of bankruptcies and defaults spread faster than official news, fueling a sense of panic. On social media, heartbreaking confessions of debt, hunger, and hopelessness are going viral, painting a raw picture of a nation in decline. The promise of stability has been replaced by fear, and the pride of the middle class is fading into silence. What was once hailed as unstoppable growth is now unraveling in real time, leaving millions trapped in poverty and debt.